Hello YouTube, back at it again with another rant video. And this is going to be about Michelle Beadle going off on LeBron James. She was being interviewed, so what I'm going to talk about is that she did have DMs from LeBron James. I don't know if it's been, considering this is like apparently years ago, how he wanted her fired, the 46-year-old. But apparently, she's very adamant towards him. She really has got it out for LeBron James. I really believe the reason she's doing this, I think it's because she wants to get that clout. She clearly wants to, because that's her only, she doesn't have any, apparently, from what I understand, she doesn't have any experience outside of what she's doing. And I'm talking about her being a podcaster and then talking about LeBron, because apparently she tries to make it out like he's somehow like a aggressive, he's very condescending person, because apparently I don't know if this is even true because these are just allegations. She's claiming that he goes off and he's trying to ruin other people's lives, like trying to make disputes, claiming that he tried to get other people fired as well, trying to ruin their career. But in reality, the majority of the media loves him. This because not because you'd say, "Oh, he's a black guy. Why should we care about this dude?" Even though he's a champion, but he has several rings, and he's smart too. You also afraid this man's intelligent, so he knows if she came up with, she was talking about those alley, like the him running like him running his mouth towards her, claiming that he was insulting her, saying that she wanted her fired, considering like she went to NBC from ESPN 3 years ago. That's what I'm hearing. She was only on ESPN like for like 3 years and then went to NBC. And from what I understand is that LeBron, like, he is a big face for sports, so he's not gonna be he knows pretty he's aware enough that if he says something, it might definitely ruin his reputation. But that's why he's wise enough to keep it to himself, and it makes her actually look bad if anything, because it just seems people are gonna say, no, you're just doing this for attention, lady. You have nothing better to do but worry about another grown man's life. Just because simply he's more successful than you, which is true, he's more successful because he's the one that gives the companies ideas on how to customize his brand. Like I said, he's the face of sports. He's a great role model. Tons of people idolize him. And she's like I said, she's insinuating that he's been going behind people's back, trying to ruin their career. But it doesn't look like he doesn't have to. It doesn't seem like it. It's just simply pure jealousy. She's doing this out of jealousy, to be real. Because why all of a sudden, after so many years, this issue, like she's talking about, all of a sudden she wants to continue going back and forth when it seems like LeBron James, like she clearly does have it out for this man. Because LeBron James is best that he does not care and he just moves forward because he knows he's better than this. He knows he's better than this. He doesn't need people like trying to retaliate, because in return, if whether they are trying to retaliate, if he did, even if he did anything, like, well, what is he gonna gain by fighting by like trying to go back and forth to these people? What is he gonna gain by trying to argue with them? He doesn't have to, because simply because he's in the position, he's already in a great position. He's already making money. He's willing to live on it for himself. He's well committed to his career. He knows he doesn't have to lose, because the best way to keep your career alive is to continue moving forward and ignore the negativities and try to be who you are and focus on what you're best at and focus on your specialty. That's what it means to be LeBron James, to be where he is right now, because that's why people consider him a king. She, on the other hand, she's talking about something that happened a long time ago, and most likely, I guarantee people are not agreeing with. Most likely, are not gonna even agree with her, because simply because of her status, her position, compared to LeBron James, he's superior and he'll win the case. Because like he even though I think there and he actually I think he said himself he simply gave his opinion actually. He said the reason want her fired on ESPN because she has a bad attitude and she could not handle the criticism. And that's the mentality like with people like hers. When they're jealous, they can't handle criticism. They feel like they have to do something in order to retaliate. When they take criticism, they feel they have to get revenge on that person and try and ruin their reputation, which is sad in my opinion, because that's somebody that's basically trying to desperately like leech off of somebody, trying to go off on somebody to be able to somehow make a success for themselves, to succeed in trying to ambush somebody, call them out, criticize them, bash them, so they can get a response. Which is simply why people are. This is why she's getting lots of criticism, not because of LeBron James, but the people who support him. Because it seems like she is tempted because, like, it's just like people who are working for Trump. He tells them to do them a favor. Um, and the thing is, even if that means they're willing to risk their job, they're actually willing to risk their job. Seriously, for the people that are working like, that's just an example. For anybody who's working for anybody that tells you do something, if you want to keep your job, you don't have like best way to live your life. Don't do it, especially if it means you're possibly going to end up, whether you end up keeping your job. Even if what I'm saying is that if you do something reckless, they tell you to do something that you shouldn't do, best my advice, don't do it, because you're putting yourself in a bad situation, and also it could put you in harm's way. And what I mean is that, like, you have to do something that is like convenient. You have to do something that is the most logical. So you gotta have common sense. So that way you don't be in a position where you are gonna regret it for the rest of your life. Whether she may not be regretting it for the rest of her life, but constantly talking about somebody because you feel that it is necessary to help you reach a certain stage, to the point where people are going to pay you, or they're going to compliment you, and they're going to agree with you. Like, it does not apply to the majority of people, because if you target somebody, because this is simply what this woman's doing, she's targeting somebody for publicity. She's targeting a celebrity like LeBron James, and not only a celebrity, a five-time NBA All-Star. So he knows he can move on from this, but he was right. He just simply gave his opinion. She has a bad attitude. And if you talk about something that's been going on for so long and you can't let it go, that means you have nothing. That means you are desperate. That means you can't move on and try to improve yourself and try to look forward to stay focused and do something better for yourself, and try to worry about what might happen to you rather than what's coming to that other person. You know what I mean? But it's best that she tries to, if she wants to be able to remain with the career she already has, if she wants to remain and be able to keep her job, she might as well stay quiet. And those are my thoughts. But again, he's smart. He's a smart man. He's just gonna simply ignore. He doesn't have to say anything because he knows she's hoping for a response. Because if he says something, any slight bit of mistake, any slight word could possibly ruin it, and people can use that to their advantage. And especially the paparazzi could say, what made you decide to say this in the first place? Were you willing to like admit your guilt? Did you have any clue what you were thinking when you said this? Or did you just slip up and realize that when you said it, you weren't really thinking straight? Or you were just under a lot of pressure? Was it the amount of stress that got you confessing? But with LeBron James, I could tell he's not stressed, so he just has to move, he just has to keep on with what he's doing and just ignore the people that are a nuisance. And that's how he remains a success as always. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.